that's it. We just want to win for our team.
My goodness! And Amy Wang finishes it!
Yeah, we're just as good as the men. We're better.
It's a huge point for the Bay Area.
Good chance that's the number one highlight of the week.
Oh yeah, baby. Welcome back to session number 2 and weekend number 13. This is day number 2 of MLTT. Right here, coming to you live from Wichita, Kansas. I'm Adam Bobrow, and I am thrilled, but it's not about me, it's about you. Are you guys ready for the action? All right, then without any further ado, let's call in our officials, Jovana Knežević and Jorge Vanegas. And now, coming in with 199 points, they're the third place team, and they've got some big horns to fill. A big warm welcome for Texas Smash. Led by digital coach Jorg Bitsi Gayo, Hiromitsu Kasahara, Nandan Naresh, Dave Macbeth, Nishant Lebaka, Amy Wang, and on the end, Daryl Tao. Their opponents now, the fourth place team, fighting to claw their way back in. They've got a whole lot of rotation because they are Seattle Spinners! Led by coach Luba Sadovska, Nikhil Kumar, Olajide Omotayo, Johan Hagberg, Andrew Tsao, Fabiola Diaz, and Paul Chi. Now that all the warriors have entered the arena, let's shake some hands and slap some skins and let the games begin.
Well, our weekend in Wichita continues and the action only intensifies. We just watched the Bay Area Blasters clinch their playoff spot. And tonight, the Texas Smash could take a huge step towards the number 2 spot, or perhaps even trying to catch Bay Area. But the Seattle Spinners are going to have something to say about it as well. The Spinners have their backs against the wall. Seattle needs at least 13 points out of the 21 available tonight to avoid elimination with just one more day in the regular season after this evening's competition. The Blasters atop the pack. Portland hoping Seattle can prevent Texas from creating too big of a lead for second place. We'll see how the cookie crumbles over the rest of the evening as we welcome you back to our broadcast perch. Evan Lepler with the Hall of Famer Sean O'Neill. It's interesting because Texas has to like the position that they're in. They won 16-5 yesterday. They have a Seattle team that has had its ups and downs through the second half of the season. But you have a hunch that the Spinners are aligned right tonight. Why?
No, I just looked at the lineups, and I just see that there's a chance for a number of sweeps, and they're not giving up. They're fighting the entire weekend because what are their other options? They can't give up. They have a slim chance, so you got to put everything on the table.
This will be the 6th match of the season between Seattle and Texas. The Smash have had Seattle's number lately. The last 2 matches in January and February, you see the scores were all Texas in a 65-40 point total through the previous 5 matches. So Texas has the tiebreaker over Seattle in terms of the total points, even with 21 points still available tonight. But the 21 points will loom large in the division standing. Let's take you back to September. At the home of the Santa Cruz Warriors, Dave Macbeth was all smiles, and the Smash were victorious. But a month later in Texas, Fabiola Diaz helped to finish off Texas in a 12-9 win, and then Fabiola Diaz again closed out the Golden Game as Seattle escaped. The new year, though, has belonged to Texas in this rivalry, Sean. Kasahara put the finishing touches on the 17-4 win in February up in Everett, Washington. So that sets the stage for the lineup today. And, well, for Texas, they've got Kasahara in the leadoff spot against Olajide Omatayo, who you know is eager to get back on the table after what happened yesterday.
You know, I definitely think that that's a pick-em match. Both players, a lot of power, a lot of precision. And then we go down to singles, too. And one of my favorite players, Johan Hagberg, a lot of power as a lefty, but he's playing against David McBeth. So I think that would favor Texas. Doubles yesterday, Seattle was awesome. They played so strong against the Blasters. And then singles 3 and singles 4, I've got to give the advantage to Seattle there, just based on rankings. So I think anything could happen in this match. And this first match with these two powerful players will really set the tone to see if Seattle can win big or if Texas can put some more pressure on Portland, who only took 3 points in their last match with Bay Area.
This will be the third meeting of the season between Omatayo and Kasahara. The Japanese player for the Smash won 2 out of 3 games in November over Omatayo, and then also won 2 out of 3 games in February. But Omatayo has really hit some beautiful shots this weekend. He's had some tough luck as well. But this has the making stylistically of a really intriguing battle of the top players for each of their respective teams.
And I would not be surprised if we see at least one golden game between these two players. Both are excellent at making adjustments.
You mean golden point?
Golden point, sorry. Yeah, well, they're going to be in the golden game as well, right? So
0-0.
at least one.
Omatayo will serve to get the evening underway.
Zero, 1.
Look at that serve.
1-1.
Kasahara looked around like, how did that happen?
Two straight for
1-2.
Olajide, the Nigerian from Lagos, now resides in France. And we're even 2 points apiece.
2-2.
What's the key for Olajide
3-2.
in this match, Sean? How does he get the better of Hiromitsu?
I think it's really moving around his opening attack. If he just keeps it to one location, as we saw Kasahara play against Kole yesterday. There's so much power due to his racket speed.
2-4.
But if he has to be thinking and moving, it's just not as effective. That time, Omatayo did a great job of moving the ball out to the forehand side. Kasahara so lethal from the backhand corner with both his forehand and backhand.
3-4.
That was a nice deep opening loop. Kasahara
5-3.
motioning that the ball jumped right at the end. Oh, look at that loop down the line.
More of a missile than a loop.
6-3.
Ball never bounced above 3 or 4 inches after it cleared the 6-inch net.
Strong response from Hiro.
When Omatayo
4,
played Majin
6.
Bao yesterday, he reminded himself of not wanting to leave the forehand open or playing out to his opponent's forehand, because he leaves his own vulnerable to any type of forehand attack. So the players both
5-6.
looking around off of some of the errant shots.
Oh,
That was a quality forehand loop.
Certainly didn't let the previous
7-5
impact his aggressiveness on the next swing.
And really timed it well. Just now with the serve and the 2-point mini break.
Several members of the Portland Paddlers, including the coach, sitting near the Seattle bench cheering on the Spinners. Portland needs
7-6.
Seattle to have a big night to have their best chance of making the playoffs.
Well, Portland better be careful, because if Seattle does win big, the next target is going to be on Portland for them to try to.
It's true. But
If they were to do
right now, first things first,
6-8.
I got to worry about Texas, who's only 3 points behind compared to Seattle, who they're 28 points clear of in the standings. So even if Seattle won 21-0, that's probably the best case scenario for Portland.
7-8.
Because then they'd have a 3-point lead over Texas and a 7-point lead over the Spinners. Rather than then they would control their own destiny going into tomorrow. Portland plays after Texas tomorrow, and Texas has to deal with the first place Blasters at 11 a.m.
huge advantage for Portland playing the second match.
Yes, unless they're eliminated before the match begins, which could happen if Texas has a good night tonight and then
blows out or wins.
And if Texas puts up 14 points tonight, they'd be
9-8.
up 11. If they got 12 points tomorrow, that would create an insurmountable lead. 9-8, Omotayo. Game point for
8-10.
Olajide. Haven't met too many people in my life that have the initials OO. I like it. And Olajide Omotayo gets it done in game one against Hiramitsu Kasahara. Kasahara won 2 out of 3 games each of the 2 previous times that they played. But game one tonight goes to the Nigerian. So the plot thickens. Seattle on the board first on the Saturday night here in Wichita. Kasahara will serve to start game 2.
Again, very smart move by Omotayo. Just get the first spin in, nothing crazy. Move it around. And you can see in the forehand-to-forehand battle, Kasahara slight advantage. In more spin. Footwork probably about the same. Omotayo plays a longer stroke. And there's the short backhand over the table by Kasahara.
1-2.
Good stuff from Kasahara there, going on the attack quickly.
3-1.
Oh, what a backhand punch by Omotayo.
3-2.
Took that soft opening loop and just punched it to the corner.
3-2.
Jorge Venegas reminding Kasahara about the palm on the serve. Keeps his focus, smashes a winner.
2-4.
Hey, Sean, we've talked so much throughout the weekend this season about the American Olympic team that will be competing in Paris this summer. What non-American MLTT players do you expect to also see in the Olympics this summer?
For sure, Jeremy Hazim, because he just qualified last weekend for Canada. Trying to think of most of the
6-3.
Olympic regional qualifiers have taken place in Europe, Asia, South America, and North America has an event coming up in Lima, Peru, in which Nikhil Kumar earned the right
4-6.
last weekend to be one of 2 Americans, along with Canuck Ja, who will be fighting for 4 slots that are available for the Americas region. And Nikhil will also go with Amy Wang to Czech.
Whoa. Oh, Matayo lost his balance, tried not to fall on the table, and
4-7.
somehow he stayed in the point long enough for Kasahara to send it into oblivion.
Yeah, rip a winner. So in Czech, Amy Wang of the smash and Nikhil Kumar of the spinners will pair up in the mixed doubles to try to make one of 4
Nice.
slots available for the mixed doubles competition in
7-5.
Paris. Only 16 teams compete. U.S. women will be competing as a team there. The men will only be playing singles if they qualify. And I would say that both Nikhil and Canuck Ja have an excellent opportunity of coming out of the America's Olympic Challenge. And right now,
8-5.
Kasahara is mixing up the spin, serving very effectively.
We've seen some fantastic serves in this match.
I mean, just the speed at Kasahara's forehand,
5-9.
just unleashing a ton of power.
Five, 10.
Game points for Hero to even up this match at 1 game apiece.
Then 6.
Matayo just lost his balance at the very end. Some heavy hitting from both players. But Hiromitsu Kasahara takes game 2, 11-6. We got a rubber game coming up in the opening singles match of the night here in Wichita. So the up-to-the-minute standings, Hiromitsu Kasahara just earned Texas's 200th point of the season.
Anyone over here?
One game to one. Christian Lily Rose and the Portland Paddlers delegation that's looking on near the Seattle bench. Omotayo will serve to start game 3. An important early edge up for grabs here.
1-0. Zero, 2. Stop.
Loose ball in the
0-2.
backcourt. Ball boy takes care of it. Nice job being patient on the serve return by Omotayo.
Yeah, he's really waiting to see if that ball's going to double bounce or just call it half long, just come off the end. Sometimes that slower ball can create a lot of difficulties for the server going for that third ball attack when it's not coming over quickly off the bounce. Again, you just see a nice controlled opening by Omotayo. Not going for a winner, but more of a placement opening backhand attack to a good location.
Went big and a little too strong that time from Omotayo, so it's a 4-2 game as they go to the towels here in game 3. Sean talking about the Olympics. When does your preparation begin for broadcasting with NBC once again?
We'll start out of Stamford, Connecticut. We'll be doing it stateside, and July 24th is when they have most of the domestic commentators come in. And then we'll go through August 13th, 14th. A lot of table tennis, so it'll be so exciting to see Team USA with Lily, Rachel, Amy, and then hopefully Nikhil and Kanakja.
6-2.
As well as Jeremy.
This will be your 3rd Olympics as a broadcaster, your 4th?
I want to say 6th or 7th.
Really?
Yeah. Much older than I was.
7-2.
You competed in 2 Olympics as a player. First 2 years that table tennis was in the Olympics in '88 and '92.
This will be the 7th.
I remember some of the first conversations we had where you telling me stories about your mingling with members of the Dream Team in Barcelona in '92.
Definitely a highlight.
All those guys just, from what I understand, wouldn't stop bothering you. Like
yeah,
Barkley and Malone and Stockton.
Well,
Jordan in particular
Leitner
all wanted to hang out with you.
Right. Well, they were playing ping pong, so they all wanted the tips.
Excellent rally.
Just so much patience by
7-5.
Kazahara to just stay with a controlled attack.
He outlasts Olajide on that point. Do you remember what advice you gave to Michael Jordan to help his ping pong
No,
game?
it was the one person I spoke to. I spoke to 2. Patrick Ewing.
Okay.
He wasn't interested. And then Charles Barkley, I asked him how he was doing with Leitner and Jordan. And he said he sucked. And I asked if he wanted some tips, and he said it wouldn't make a difference. And then I asked if it was like his golf game. He didn't find that funny.
7-6. Timeout.
Timeout taken here with Omotayo in front, 7-6.
All right, a timeout called here.
Timeout called by Texas, and obviously the smash.
You're playing just back and rather.
Yeah, you have to go sooner.
That's what he wants, not what you want.
You were putting it more on his body, but it was still returning, and you have to go deeper and sooner.
You need to find a way to use your forehand. Doesn't matter where you put it for him.
Are you okay if I share?
Maybe you can put this for some short.
Okay,
Or back and maybe short to forehand. Change a little bit placement. Every time the same, he's controlling everything
he
from
got
the
into the game when he was 7.
And control with spin, okay? You put more speed on it and the ball just
Make sure
flies.
stay when you want to go
Closer.
stay over the table. The ball is going to stop a little bit, right? So if you want to go, you have to go full over. And try to, when you attack, hit shorter on the table, not too deep. Hit shorter on the table. Put more into the table. Right?
Yeah. And again, this serve works on him. Just put it a little bit more in maybe on his elbow or
You
something.
play how you
yeah.
this serve.
daughter, what's your name?
After, right? Time.
Time.
Nice to eavesdrop on the Seattle huddle with Coach Luba Sadowska and also Nikhil Kumar giving advice.
Tight game here. Lots of table tennis
Texas
to talk
coach
about. Back from the timeout.
7-6.
Presented by that cell phone hanging up, or being held up by that cell phone stand over there. Still charging. Jorg following from afar in Germany.
And that serve worked.
6-8.
Six lead now for Olajide.
And that's exactly what you want to have happen come
6-9.
out of the timeout. Take 2 points directly on your serve.
Nine, 7.
Big point there for Omatayo.
10-7.
Gives him a bunch of chances to close this thing out.
A little risky with the serve that goes off the end of the table, but he countered attacked so efficiently with his forehand.
Beautifully done.
11-7.
2 out of 3 for
1.
Olajide Omatayo. Nice response after he lost 3 straight to Jinbao Ma last night. So Seattle off to the 2-1 lead. And we'll chat with Olajide here in Wichita in just a moment. Olajide, well done. Thanks for joining us. Obviously, Heroes had your number the last 2 times you played them, but you get 2 out of 3 today. What in your mind was the difference?
Actually, the last time that I played against him, I noticed that it was stepping around too early. And today, and also I noticed that his services are very of quality, but always coming out half long. So today I just tried to play a little bit slow and a little bit fast. I was just mixing it up.
So no, the mixing up was amazing. The question I have is when you played doubles yesterday, I've never seen 2 shots hit so hard in my life that you delivered. What is your secret to generating so much power?
I think right now I have so much anger in me, so I'm just trying to show it on the table.
Where does this anger come from, Olajide?
Okay, my team is 4th in the group, and I think that we are better, and we need to show that, yes, we have what it takes to go to the playoffs.
Well, you're not out of it yet. What will be the key in your doubles match today? You'll face Hero again along with Amy Wang.
We will go onto the table being positive, do what we know how to do best. We did some practice today, and hopefully everything will work out.
All right, appreciate your time and insight. Best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Bye.
Well, Hogberg and Macbeth are coming up next. Before we dive in here, I want to ask Sean about something Olajide just said in terms of how productive is it to channel that anger if you can do it the right way?
It really is. You have to figure out where the motivation's going to come from, and not being out of contention, but being in 4th when you'd really love to be top 2. Hopefully he's able to keep the energy going even if he falls behind in the game and not just overplay. That's really the biggest threat. What I'm liking right now is we have a different hair color with Johan Hagberg He dropped the blonde highlights. I'm guessing this is the more traditional Swedish look that he parlays on the table.
European matchup here.
1-0
from Great Britain. Dave, a new dad, his daughter Freya born in late March.
And Hagberg's challenge is going to be, we know he's going to counterattack, and he's going to go for winners on the counterattack. Can he deal with the heavy topspin that Macbeth will deliver on his first attack?
This is the first time these two have met in a singles match in Major League Table Tennis. Hagberg gets his first point as
3-1.
Sends the return long. Stylistically, Macbeth just has so much more size, so much longer reach here. I mean, how does he want to use that to his advantage? And
whoa, check out that deep serve.
2-4.
An ace cross court. That does not happen often. That ball jumped at the last moment.
What I was trying to do to you earlier today without nearly as much success.
With Macbeth, because of his height, his short game is going to be
3-4.
Generally very strong, but it's the leverage he gets on those first top spins. Beautiful technique. And you can see his backhand. He'll go over the table. Hagberg loves to take almost 360 spinning counterattacks that will send him to the ground. So very different. And look at the power there by Macbeth.
He didn't go around the net there. He was pretty close to the net post. Just over the top of the logo on the net.
And there you can just see Macbeth when he makes that first topspin. He's not just driving the ball, but he's adding as much topspin as possible to make it almost impossible for Hagberg to make a counterattack.
Well, David hadn't played high-level table tennis in a little bit because he missed the event at the end of February with his wife just a few weeks away from the due date. And then obviously he's been taking care of the newborn in recent weeks more than he's been training.
Which is understandable.
And I think we saw that rust in his first game yesterday against Isak Vila, and then he turned it around and took games 2 and 3 against the Dominican for the paddlers.
8-5.
And a very similar match between Vila and Hillis Hagberg, where Macbeth is primarily just controlling the serve and serve return, getting the first attack on, and allowing the opponent to take
6-9
riskier shots. You just see it's so tough for Hagberg to get his footing.
10-6.
So he can get a clean shot on any of these counterattacks. Macbeth with game point.
10-7.
Able to fight off one. But not two.
11-7. One game to 0.
11-7 win. Workmanlike in game number 1. Solid stuff from the Big Brit. And we are even 2-2 on the team tally. That point brings the Smash within 1 of the Portland Paddlers for second place.
And a lot more action in this team match.
Zero games to 1. Spinners to serve. 0-0.
Hagberg will have the ball in his palm to start game 2. Lefty from Sweden gets us
Net.
going with a left.
0-0.
Jay Hagberg says his
0-1.
origin is a mixture of Lao, Vietnamese, and Swedish. Lives in Stockholm. He'll turn 30 this summer in July.
I think he's been playing out of Los Angeles. Nice. One of the clubs there. Giving the U.S.
2-1.
A nice try coaching some on the side, but also, as you can imagine, playing as many tournaments.
Sean, what American city have we not gone to on our MLTT journey this year that you would most like to go to next season?
Couple. Boston.
2-3.
Table tennis there. Los Angeles. Getting ready for the games after Paris. They've already started thinking about it. Got a great high school, middle school table tennis league there run by LA Ping Pong. Possibly DC, my former hometown.
3 good spots.
4-3.
I hope we could do Boston in like September
or
April or March, as opposed to November, December, January, February. LA that time of year would be lovely.
Yep.
4-5.
Certainly when we go back to Chicago in 3 weeks, it'll be different than when we were there in November.
Which you were there with Matt.
That's right.
Possibly also Minneapolis would be a fun city to
6-5.
bring MLTT to. A lot of options.
Twin Cities, great place.
Oh, look at Macbeth, just so strong from the backhand side of the table. Just a 2-winged attack. See Hagberg setting up for the forehand. Macbeth seeing that, redirecting the ball to the weaker side. Look at that backhand.
Fearless stuff from Dave Macbeth.
So effortless. And then a quality block. Hagberg made a good forehand topspin opening shot.
9-5.
You can see frustration building a little bit for Johan. He's throwing everything he's got at Dave, but his reach, his strength, and the good luck that he's had as well on a couple of those fortuitous bounces have Macbeth a point away from a 2-0 lead. And there's a little turnabout fair play.
6-10.
Ball goes over the net and comes back into it.
But a service error
11-6.
Finish up that game and guarantee that Dave Macbeth will win the match. But there's still an important point to be had. Let's see if Hagberg can regroup after this tough miss. High ball toss, but it did not work out. On the phone, the former USA TT National Coach of the Year, a couple times last decade.
0-1.
Jorg Bitzy Gaio. guiding his team from afar.
2-0.
How much coaching do you want to do when your player's up 2-0?
You still can give them advice, even if it's just reassuring them of what they're doing is correct. If you're always looking at the opponent and seeing what they're attempting to do and predicting what type of adjustments they might make so that your player doesn't get caught flat-footed and
0-4.
win a game easy, then lose a game easy. It's a good, solid edge for Macbeth, but Hagberg starting out very strong here in game 3. This is one of those examples, Evan. It was just not really close to 11-6 in the last game. And right now Hagberg turns the corner at 5 with the 4-point lead, serving now from his forehand side, trying to mix it up, and it works. Now 6-1.
6-1.
After really being outplayed in game 2.
Oh. Dave Macbeth has had enough.
That looked like one of your shots today.
2-6.
Except mine went either into the net or off the table.
No,
long.
you had a couple that were outstanding. Some like that one,
from his knees. I never got that low.
3-6.
I appreciate your patient tutelage. Clearly, you are a fountain of knowledge. And
7-3.
Racket instincts. I play a good amount of tennis.
Yeah, I was going to say your tennis really helped out a lot, so we could figure out what style of play.
But there was a moment today when I was all the way to the forehand side, and like I was in a tennis match. I'm like, okay, I got to get back, and I try to get to the middle of the table, and you just pounded me back to the forehand side with a winner, and you made the point. You don't have time to get back. Like in tennis, you have a lot more time before the ball's coming back.
Got to watch the opponent's racket a little bit more. Tennis, you've got time. Table tennis, you have to judge where they're going during their backswing. And now Macbeth, oh, that's a big error there. And Hagberg.
5-8.
Big point here for Hagberg to keep the 4-point lead and the serve. He's going to take this third game. Looks like he tried to serve the serve back with that little forehand slice.
Still got the serve and a 2-point lead. And now a 3-point lead as Macbeth returns it long.
9-6.
Nicely done by Jay Hagberg to create a slew of game points, trying to salvage a game from Dave Macbeth.
Well placed serve by Macbeth.
7-10.
Oh, what a return from Hagberg, handling the power to take game 3, 11-7.
Johan Hagberg takes game number 3, 11-7 to tie it up. So Seattle Spinners.
Big point for the Spinners. He loses the match, but he can still be proud. He even things up 3 apiece. Matayo and Diaz, the doubles team that won yesterday for Seattle, getting ready to face Kasahara and Wang, the doubles team that won yesterday for Texas. And we say good evening once again to Dave Macbeth, 2 out of 3 from Jay Hagberg. What is your mentality after game 2 in a match like this?
Not to start like that. Yeah.
What happened?
Just a couple of cheap errors. I'd been playing the ball that is received that he'd been playing to me. I've been spinning that quite well. First 2 sets, obviously I missed 2 of those. Had an easy backhand as well, I think 1-3 or love 3.
I mean, Dave,
and it's hard to get back after that.
You have more size and reach than a lot of guys that you play against, Hagberg among them.
Yeah.
How do you try to use that to your advantage?
Well, normally if I can open the table up, and for example, if I can spin and get them to give me an easier ball, obviously that allows me to get a bit more room to use the power that I've got. But obviously if they try to counteract that, so yeah, but normally if I've got time to play, I can then use some of my power.
So one of the questions I haven't had a chance to ask you this year so far is, how has it been different at the 10-10 versus the traditional deuce game win by 2? What has been your mindset in those situations?
Yeah, I think it's definitely a change. I felt it the first weekend, but it's more, obviously it depends who's serving. I mean, I prefer just to try and focus on what's been working up to that point. Obviously some people like to go for a surprise, but it definitely adds a new dynamic. It also helps if you've been leading and they come back, suddenly you still got that, technically another game point, so that makes it fun.
Good stuff. Fun watching you play. We'll let you go. Get ready for the Golden Game. Thanks, Dave. So we shift toward the doubles, and both these doubles teams won 2 out of 3 games last night. Omatayo and Diaz for Seattle, taking on Kasahara and Wang. Omatayo and Diaz have had some pretty good success against Kasahara and Wang, including, I beg your pardon. Kasahara and Wang have had the success against Omatayo and Diaz. The last couple months, this has been the doubles matchup, and the Texas team has won 5 out of 6 games.
The nice thing about Seattle with Omatayo and Diaz is their games are so different. Omatayo loves the powerful forehands. Diaz loves to mix it up with her backhand. She plays with pimpled out rubber on the backhand side. She likes to take pace off the ball. So Seattle constantly is mixing it up with a lot of power and then a lot of control. Texas.
Heck of a winner there from Wang to get things started.
Texas, great racket speed. They are so quick and they love to stay close to the table.
Big swing, and he just raised the ball.
2-0.
Texas wins both points on Seattle's serve. And then another error on the return from Omatayo makes it 3-0.
I have a feeling these games are going to go quickly. Not a lot of long rallies.
3-0.
Just as I say that, a 15-shot rally.
It wasn't quite 15 shots, but that might be the longest rally of the match, to your point.
Both teams just taking their time. We saw Omatayo when he played against Kasahara, playing a lot of slower openings, just getting the ball into play. And that's what I expect from Amy Wang. Any balls that sit up just a tad, she will swat away.
She did not miss. First point for Seattle. Mentioned it off the top, Sean. Seattle needs to win at least 13 points in this match to avoid elimination from playoff consideration, which means they need at least 7 going into the Golden Game. Amy Wang is locked in tonight. A couple balls that have popped up, and she has done the job finishing the point, leaving no doubt. How about that serve?
3-6.
That's very tough for Fabi to be running all over the table, especially when the tempo gets that fast to try to get her backhand in. She loves to take pace off the ball.
Eight, 3. 4-8.
Once again, Amy Wang's backhand over the table. Just snapping it in. And Mataya with the deep serve.
9-5.
Important point for Seattle if they're going to make a move here. If they could win this one on Kasahara's serve, they would get the next two serves with a chance to tie.
Oh, just off the edge.
6-10.
And now a slew of game points for the Smash. Looking to seize game one and retake the lead on the team count. Nice power from Fabiola Diaz when the opportunity arose.
7-10.
Great technique on the backhand, just really straight through the ball. Similarly, what we've seen Amy do on the high balls. And you can hear Omatayo wanting to get back into this game.
Two serves for Wang. Obviously still game point for Texas. That caught the edge. Omatayo has missed a few of those, but it has not deterred his aggressiveness.
And he is chanting LA.
Kasahara stared at that corner of the table for a while as if to say, did that corner move? What an effort by Omatayo! Incredible to create a golden point.
Completely airborne. Great forehand, jump shot, and now 1 point to take the first game.
Back on G-Day's serve. Oh, incredible stuff. Texas somehow escapes. Olashide can't help but smile. Exciting doubles rally on golden point.
Even Omatayo clapped after that point was over. Great teamwork on both sides of the net. Texas with the initial game win in doubles.
Yes, Sean, I understand Texas won that game, and that gives them the lead for the final playoff spot in the division heading into the final day of the regular season tomorrow. And we have plenty of time to talk about that. But look, the comeback from Seattle in that game, from 10-6 down to get it to 10-all, and particularly that leaping forehand from Omatayo. We've seen diving shots this year. We have seen no-look shots. We've seen behind the back. We have not seen too many shots leaping forehands like we just witnessed from Omatayo all season.
And he brings such excitement to the game. As he said during the last interview, he's trying to channel that anger to get back onto the top rung, possibly help his team, but such an uphill battle now.
0-3.
With the Blasters, Texas and Portland in the driver's seat. Oh, look at Amy Wang's backhand.
Just like the start of last game.
4-0.
Both in terms of the score and Amy Wang's sizzling skill.
Four, 1.
Beautiful shot by Fabiola Diaz.
2-4.
Nice clean forehand smash. Amy with a little
2-5.
tricky side spin return.
Five, 3.
What's the key to being a good serve caller in doubles?
You want to serve so that your partner gets the ball they want. You don't want to just guess and hope the opponent misses, but you often will let your partner give the signal. So here Kazuhara is giving the signal to Amy, saying what type of ball would he like. Oh, look at the backhand by Omotayo. Both these teams have such power.
4-6.
But communications is the other element of doubles. Got to let your partner know what you're looking for and to be as encouraging as possible. No one likes to play doubles with a person who is looking and getting on their case every time you make a mistake. Omotayo fought to make that forehand, and Amy just took it off the bounce for a winner. Amy once again going for that side spin push.
7-6.
Goes long. And Seattle right back in this game.
8, 7,
Very
6.
similar trajectories for each of these first two games. See
Yes.
if Seattle can switch up the
7,
result.
6.
That was great teamwork by Seattle. Deep push by Omotayo, then Diaz quickly playing the first offensive shot. Nice 1-2 punch. Right idea. This
7,
Fabi
8.
needs to move a little bit more to get better position for that high backhand.
Not the first time this
9,
weekend
7.
we've seen that happen. That's a tough error at 7, serving 8. Well, which part of the table did that hit? It caught the side, did not catch the edge. It's Texas's point. Heck of an effort from Omotayo, who almost ended up in the Seattle bench.
That ball would have needed to go more over the table surface.
Wang missed it, so Seattle's still alive.
Omotayo continues to bring back some real missiles from Texas.
Wow.
11, 8.
What a wacky
11
point
0.
that was.
Smash.
Somehow it goes Texas's way in the smash. Win another tight game. Around the net post short, but it forced Diaz to just kind of snake it back over, and it caught the tape. 5-3 to the smash.
They call it the strawberry.
That was a promising start to the night for Seattle, with Omatayo getting a couple points in singles, but after he took 2 out of 3 versus Kasahara, 4 of the last 5 points have gone Texas's way, so the Smash now 2 points clear of Portland. Seattle still 25 behind the Paddlers in the cellar of the West. 27 points out of a playoff spot, and it's really go time right now for Seattle.
0-1.
There are 13 points that are still available tonight. To keep their season alive, the Spinners need at least 10 of them. Of course, they'll play tomorrow regardless, but to keep their championship weekend hopes alive.
2-1.
Meanwhile, this is yet another weekend, Sean, where we're seeing the teams with the lead going into the Golden Game taking care of business. That has been really the story of the entire winter, spring season since we hit January. 33 Golden Games in 2024. Only 3 of them have been won.
I think the players are feeling
by the team trailing, excuse me,
a lot more confident in these 4 points. Where at the beginning, players weren't really sure. Do you go all offensive? Do you try something different? Of course, there's always the chance for the A, B, or the top 2 players to play a 3-4, because the coaches dictate the order.
5-2.
Amy Wang, so smooth.
Here's the thing that surprised me from a Golden Game standpoint. You would think at least once in 85 Golden Games that a team would win a Golden Game but lose the match, which is to say, you know, they'd be down, but they'd still find a way to salvage the Golden Game as Omatayo takes out yet another barrier.
3-6.
Gotten barriers on both sides of the table over the course of his weekend. And the reason I bring that up is because at championship weekend, the Golden Game is going to change ever so slightly, in that it's no longer worth 6 points. The winner of the Golden Game wins the match, even if a team won no points going into it. We got a Texas timeout.
Texas Smash calls the
Try
timeout.
to eavesdrop on the conversation.
You're in game 3. Every game 3, they switch sides and one team
It's okay.
gets 5 points. Just
No big problem. Just
not too much advantage or disadvantage starting on one side. You call a timeout when you feel that you can change the outcome of the match. Sometimes it's tactical. Now you might wonder, who's the coach? Where's the coach for Texas Smash? I don't want to make things too awkward. See this tripod right here? Right behind Nanda and Naresh? That tripod holds the coach, Jorg Binzi-Gaio. He's coaching from Germany. He would be here, but there was a little mix-up with visas and passports, so he's been coaching digitally. Watching.
It's okay. Take your time. Take your time.
Daryl Tsao is wearing headphones right now. Normally he's a quiet, shy guy.
Let's go.
So right now he's powered by your Vince Guile, who's not a quiet and shy guy. So he'll be the body.
Kasahara and Wang back to the table with a 1-point lead.
For here and now.
Just back to the golden game point for just a second.
Team has 3
6,
timeouts
5.
The fact that it's no longer worth points at championship weekend is a change. The other change is a team could have larger than a 5-0 lead going into the golden game. If a team is up 11-4, they'll start up 7-0. They could start as much as 15-0 up. But even if a team wins every single game through the first 15 games, there's still technically some faint hope in
15-0.
Yeah. It would be stunning, but
6, 7.
you never know.
Eight, 6.
I don't think we're going to have a team go up 15-0 at championship weekend, but again, you never know.
Eight, 7.
At some point tomorrow, I'm going to ask you for your championship weekend prediction as we sit here 3 weeks away.
Okay.
So I'll give you the night to sleep on it.
In Seattle,
8, 8.
we'd love to bring this to a 5-4 game tally if possible.
Big stuff from Olajide Omatayo.
Deep serve from Diaz, and Omatayo with a bigger forehand.
That running forehand to his right has been there for him throughout the day and really all season long.
An aggressive doubles play here directly off the serve. And that serve jumped
9.
off of Fabi's paddle. She didn't want it to go that high. But it was deep.
Tough miss. And now a game point to
9.
complete the sweep. Kasahara serving. 10-all.
And Omatayo gets away with a very deep push.
For the second time in the 3 games, we are at 10-all. Golden point. What a match. Tough luck for Seattle as Kasahara and Wang win their second golden point in just absolutely riveting fashion. It's a 3-0 sweep for the Texas doubles duo. And it gives the Smash a 6-3 lead. Kasahara and Wang somehow, some way get to the finish line. 3-0.
Social media. I follow on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and Facebook. And on their YouTube channel, they've got a top 10 for every weekend. If that point's not in it.
And we're joined now by Amy Wang of the Texas Smash. Amy, congratulations. 3-0 looks dominant, but obviously it was super tight and easily could have gone the other way. What in your opinion was ultimately the difference on those big points for you and Hero today?
I think for me it's mainly control because I know Hero can power through. So my goal for this match was just get the ball on the table and not overpower.
But it did seem like, at least in the first game, any ball that popped up, you had no difficulty smashing. So how do you balance when to go for the big shot? Is it just based on the height of the ball that you decide to go for it? Because the very last point was amazing as well.
Yeah, it depends on the height of the ball. I think if it's above head level, I would smash it. But if it's under that, I try to control it, spin it more.
That was really an exceptional last point, and the golden point in the first game too. Just really exciting doubles table tennis. But what's it like competing against Olajide and Fabi out there?
They're a really strong pair, and I think going into the match we had good preparation, and yeah, I think me and Hiro worked well together.
All right, Amy, obviously the Smash are now 3 points clear of the paddlers in the standings. Is it just as simple as trying to compile as many points as you can over the next couple days?
Yeah, definitely, because this is really important this week, going to the championships. So I think we'll try to acquire as many points as possible.
Good stuff. Well done. We'll see you in the golden game. Thanks, Amy.
Thank you.
So Kasahara and Wang deliver 3 points for the Smash. Up to the minute standings. Other thing to keep in mind is, Texas, it's going to be tough for them to catch the Bay Area Blasters, but to have any chance of doing so, they need to be within 21 points of the Blasters heading into their match against the Bay Area tomorrow. And they're currently 26 back with 12 more points up for grabs this evening. So they could get as close as 14 heading into tomorrow, which would require them to win 18-3 to get the #1 seed. Should they be happy to clinch the playoffs?
Yeah, I was going to say the top 2 finish is what everyone on the East Coast was fighting for.
Right. All right, here we go. First appearance of the weekend for the youngster from New Jersey, Nishant Labaka, against Andrew Sao, who was pretty sharp in his match yesterday against Alexi Duan. Sao has been a very steady CD contributor for Seattle all season long. So Labaka's had his moments as well as a free agent.
Yeah, in both directions.
But in both divisions. He was signed by Princeton, and the Revolution have had a way with free agents. So the Smash signed up Labaka when he went back into the pool. This is Nishant's second weekend playing for Texas.
And one of the things with Labaka is because he, like Fabiola Diaz, has different rubber on each side, he plays with the pimpled out surface on his forehand. So he wants to forehand smash as much as possible. Whereas as Andrew Sao, he's a heavy forehand top spinner. He's going to try to make that very first loop, move it around, and force Labaka to have to swing wildly. Nice serve by Labaka, mixing it up.
3-3. What's the biggest difference for the guy that has the pips in terms of how he swings and attacks the ball?
Well, there's not going to be any arc on the ball. There's no heavy topspin. It's a flat trajectory, so it's almost like in tennis, a volley coming flat into the ball. So he wants to make sure he's getting a lot of balls that are slightly higher, so he can smash through the ball. Andrew Sao, as the top spinner, can take the ball at much different heights in order to land his forehand loop. You can see how difficult it is for Labaka to get it over to the forehand and have to try to smash this ball. So it really shortens his stroke because he doesn't have the leeway or the time to take a fuller backswing. But he can mix the spin up. He can do a slight top spin on the first ball, but look for him to follow it with a very flat.
4-5.
Kind of, it's a no spin ball. It's just a flat smash.
Stop.
So warning to get his left hand out of the field of vision of his opponent. Got to leave your left arm, pull it out of the way as quickly as possible once you toss the ball. Can't let it hang.
5-5.
folks, when Sean and I were playing, and I called Sean for an illegal serve.
You made the good call. You've been drilling down on the service rules of the 6 inches, as well as making sure the contact is not hidden behind the white line. I think I caught you on one toss, though, where you started slightly below the table surface, and then also not having the ball in the palm of your hand, but cupping it a little bit.
You were lenient with me. There were many times you could have called me for some sort of infraction.
But I did like the fact that your contact got lower and lower, so the quality went up, and you were moving it around, and then getting ready to pound that forehand.
I had 3 lets in a row at one point, which counts as an ace in my book.
Yep.
No one else's, unfortunately.
It just shows that you're making contact at the right height
7-6
in order to keep that ball as low as possible.
What stands out to you about what Lebaka's doing here with the 7-6 lead?
He's keeping the ball in front of him. He's not allowing Andrew to win the battle of the power. And see Andrew looking at his paddle after missing the last ball. That's not unusual against a pips out player because there's a lack of spin on the ball. They're really trading in speed, less spin. Key for a good tips out hitter, especially on the forehand side. Hit the ball at the top of the bounce. You do not want to let it fall down like that last one did. Can't be smashing from below the net height.
Oh, it catches an edge, and we're tied 8-all.
But Lebaka did a great job. He dealt with a very strong loop to his forehand side. He's up at the table and Andrew is that far back. Slight advantage for Lebaka, but unfortunate with a back edge off of that final forehand loop.
Lebaka played the point he wanted to play and just erred late.
But he got the shot. He opened up with the backhand, stepped around.
Mini break though to Sal.
E9.
And that's exactly what Lebaka wants to do. Deep serve, get a slower opening, and then just smack it.
Sean, is it just me, or have we seen way more deep serves in the late portion of the season than we saw early in the year?
Well, they're definitely paying big dividends, and people and players, especially like Jonathan McDonald, Fabiola Diaz in both of her doubles matches.
Looked like a long backhand warm-up rally. Sal outlasting Lebaka to create game point 10-9.
Just heavy topspin on every ball from Andrew Sal. Till finally moving it over to the forehand side.
10-9.
Andrew Sal able to lunge across to the finish line. Some fantastic rallies between two really talented teenagers. But Sal prevails 11-9 in game number 1.
from both of these players. This match will be very interesting. Remember, Nishant is here as a free agent, and he's delivering some very close games, high-quality points. This is game number 2. Make some noise!
1 game to 0. Spinners to serve.
All season long, Andrew Sow has found a way to put wins together.
0-0.
Had a great start, obviously. He went 6-0 back in September, the first weekend of the season in the West Division. And he was just 16 years old. He was just 15 years old. He turned 16 that weekend. And we were in Santa Cruz right after it. What do you see as the future for Andrew Sow? How high can he climb with, look, he's not a big guy, but he's quick, he's crafty, obviously been smart, and he's handled the pressure of the moment frequently in tough spots for Seattle, and they've needed it.
1-2.
And I thought going into the Olympic trials that he would perform slightly higher just because of his previous matches in MLTT, but I can definitely see him being a very strong member on the U.S. men's team, even after the next tryouts, competing in Pan Am Championships, Pan Am Games. The one thing that most coaches will look at is the size of the player's legs. He has great legs on him from countless footwork drills and the power he generates from his forehand. So he's got the body. He's gaining a lot of experience through Major League Table Tennis, especially the international players and the different styles that he's facing. So I only see a lot of good things ahead for both Andrew and Daryl. And look at the forehand of Lebaka. Getting the job done, smacking it away.
2-4.
Sean, if we're thinking about the future, second season of Major League Table Tennis, the plans are being drawn out for that right now. There will be another draft. There's going to be a draft lottery as well for the teams that don't make the playoffs. The draft lottery is coming up 10 days from now. And then the MLTT draft will be May 21st. In between the lottery and the draft, there is a trade window where teams can deal both players and picks. And it is a fascinating wrinkle, something of an unprecedented thing in professional table tennis, certainly in the United States. And it's tricky to contemplate and to think about what strategies coaches might use.
Traditionally in Europe and even in Asia, the clubs or teams that play, they just go out on their own and grab the highest player they can, pay him a salary, and they're done with it. With MLTT, with a draft, like all the major leagues in the United States, parity is the goal of the league. So the teams that finish outside the playoffs get the first picks, but they could trade those, as you mentioned, Evan, and grab a known factor.
And look, there's a world where draft picks are considered even more valuable than current players, depending on the quality of the draft. I mean, not all seasons will have the equal value of the first round draft pick, for example. But the other interesting thing is, not every team will make the same number of draft picks, because teams will have an option to
hold on to players
or let players go. And that will also obviously depend upon what the draft looks like. But from the rumors we hear, it's going to be pretty darn strong. So I'm thinking about situations like, if you have a chance to get a guy like, say, Damian Provost, who is a really good veteran player on a team that struggled at times this year, would you want to trade your late first-round pick to get a guy like Provost, who has the Golden Game experience, knows the format? Like, I'm just throwing Damian's name out there. It could have said anyone, but just replace Damien with someone else and think about, you know, what would the coach do and what would be the optimal play. It's I don't know the answer.
When you also have to think about potential doubles pairing, and
Sure.
it appears that the women will play a greater role next season, whether they're playing singles against another female or they must play in a singles match. So a number of variables to take into consideration.
Impressive footwork from Sao to stay in the point as long as he could. Lavaca within 3 here.
6-9.
Look at
beautiful
that.
stuff.
A little Omatayo there.
10,
That's
6.
right.
Got some air underneath him as he played a great forehand counterattack cross court for the winner. And then the backhand off the bounce.
Too good from Andrew Sao. And from 6-3 down, he has brought the spinners back within 1. It's 6-5. And these are really important points for Seattle as they try to keep their postseason dreams flickering here in Wichita.
Match to serve. 0-0.
So Andrew Sao with visions of finishing the sweep and tying the team tally at 6-all.
1-0.
Hopeful to get at least 1 point here for his team and put Nandan Naresh in a much more enviable position, up 7-5 as opposed to being level at 6s. Lavaca stayed with it. Sao, again, impressively. We saw the Omatayo swinging forehand. We saw the Desantalon chop to stay in the point.
Angela Guan chop as well.
That caught the side of the table. It's a good point for Lavaca.
0-3.
I was thinking about something in recent weeks. I felt like I always thought about it, you know, like in the middle of the night at a time when I didn't want to buzz either your phone or Matt Hetherington's phone.
3-1.
I was thinking about choppers and wondering who are the greatest choppers in table tennis history and how high of a level a chopper can get among the best players in the world.
3-2.
In the past, it was mostly choppers back in the 40s, 50s. Now what is required to play at the highest level is your offense has to be on par with the Omatayos,
2-4.
the Coles, because just chopping by itself, the opponent isn't going to misread the balls enough. So we have had some players, not too long ago, a player from South Korea, Ju Se-yuk, who made the finals of men's singles. So in the past, China has always liked to have one chopper on their men's team because there's just not many alive. I mean, they just don't play. There's not, it's a tough style to be successful with at the very highest level. Women's a little bit more. And there's a karma.
Net ball, edge ball, Seattle point.
4-4.
Nothing is worse than an edge.
You've said in the past, right, that you did not particularly enjoy playing choppers.
No, that's the opposite. I love choppers.
Really?
Because my game was very forehand dominated, and
you were able to run around
and get the chance to
4-5.
just launch slower missiles compared to what these guys do.
Players switching sides at 5-4.
But if you think about it, Tyrese Knight, great chopper on the backhand side, but at the exact same time, very strong forehand loop. And that's what you need to do. It's a modern day chopper.
And a timeout here for Texas Smash.
Timeout taken by Texas. Let's eavesdrop.
Okay? Just play it.
They say the table tennis players outlive other people. The reason is your brain is working so hard in real time. While you're doing physical activity,
You've got to be
the
active
most
regardless.
interesting thing for me in this match
Don't just stay.
is
Yes, yes.
how to play your game. Your equipment is set up based on your skill set. It's not a coincidence that you use a short pips on the forehand side. Some coach somewhere along the road said, the way your
Or just remember, if
you do something more smooth, and then they set lots of this unusual
okay, if he serves this, remember this is gonna be under. You could honestly just push him, okay? Don't worry about it. Just play, okay? Just play this shot.
How both of these players adapt. Back from the timeout, 1 point between them here in game number 3.
One more question about choppers, and then I'll move on.
4-5.
Throughout your lifetime in table tennis, who has been the most exciting chopper to watch? Either someone you played against or someone you just enjoyed watching.
I think the most exciting during my generation, and when I give the name, it'll really date me, was a player from China named Chen Zhenhua. And he was on the Chinese team 83, 85, 87. And if you go onto YouTube, type in his name, you might even see him doing some cartwheels when he was returning the balls in exhibitions. But like all the best choppers today, his offense was so strong that you had to get past his offense to make him chop. So it is a fun style to try because you don't have to work so much on the offensive side by just going back and chipping in and letting the opponent sometimes make mistakes. But at the higher level, it's super frustrating. If you were to play a Cole or an...
Whoa. Whoa. Somehow it feels like justice that Labaka won that point, but Sal
6-7.
catching the edge on that lob.
And Labaka does a really nice job of continuing to stay up to the table, kind of close off the angles that Andrew was going for. Oh, he's got to hit that ball. Cannot play that ball safe.
8-6.
Our friend and colleague Matt Hetherington chimes in via text on the chopper conversation, mentioning Matsushita Koji
from Japan. There's another Shibutani from Japan, Chen Weijing from Austria. So there's been a number of outstanding choppers.
9-6.
The U.S. is known for a very strong female chopper, Insa Kushan, who was a 11 times women's singles champion. And on the men's side, Derek May and Arun Kumar would be the top 2 U.S. men.
Labaka has battled, but he's 2 points away from getting swept.
And Andrew Sau just lands that heavy forehand topspin to all positions on the table, really keeping Labaka off balance to get his forehand smash in.
Well, the lead going into the Golden Game will come down to the final singles match of the night. Nikhil Kumar versus Nandan Naresh. That's coming up momentarily. 11-7 the final score in Game 3 for Andrew Sau, who sweeps Nishant Labaka 3 straight. And Seattle feeling good heading into the home stretch of this Saturday night.
If they can win this one, if they can do well here in the fourth match.
It's the second time in as many days we get to spend a couple minutes with Andrew Sau. Today after a 3-0 win. Andrew, congratulations. Your first time playing Nishant in MLTT.
Second.
Yes, you're right. Very competitive games. What was the difference in the big points that allowed you to win them?
In the beginning, I was going for a little bit too much because his pips was very it's not normal ball. So I need to make more spin, and I feel like I didn't really do much except for change my serve a lot because he had a lot of trouble with receiving my serve. But after the serve, I was also fine. So yeah, I felt in control of the game.
I think it was the first time you faced him as a member of the Texas Smash.
Oh,
the last time you
yeah.
faced him as a member of the Princeton Revolution.
You know, I know you're going to focus on this match, especially the golden game. Take us back last week. What were your thoughts on how Olympic tryouts went?
Like playing Nishant or just like the whole tournament?
The whole tryouts.
I felt like Olympic trials was a little bit slow for me, but then I had junior trials right after, and I played really well in that tournament. So I felt very good. Yeah.
Awesome.
What are your hopes and dreams in the sport of table tennis, Andrew? I mean, obviously you're still very young, but obviously your talent shows at the professional level now as well.
I hope I can I can keep being a professional player and training a lot and seeing what my highest potential can be in this sport.
What has this season been like for you, just getting the opportunity to be a professional for the first time?
It's the best experience because I've never played a league, and to start in my home country is really great. So,
congrats on the 3-0 sweep. We'll see you in the Golden Game. Thanks, Andrew.
Thank you.
Spinners to serve.
Certainly polished beyond his years.
Absolutely.
Vocally as well.
So I'm going to ask you, who's your pick here?
In this match?
Yep. Whoever wins or gets 2 points will have the lead going into the golden game.
Who's your pick?
I'm going to say, with Nikhil being two-time defending U.S. men's champion
0-1.
and just qualified to keep his dreams alive for Paris, he is the favorite. However, Nandan has one speed and it's all out. And they have played before in MLTT, and it was not an easy match for either player, although Nikhil took the W.
That was all the way back in September. And 2 of the 3 games in that match, Sean,
went to the golden
point. With each team, with each Nikhil and Nandan winning 1 golden point apiece.
I just feel that Nikhil in this particular match situation, his experience being the men's champion, he can treat it like a final. And he's had some challenges and hurdles in MLTT, primarily in the golden game. But in singles play, he's done outstanding. And you can hear him right now. This is a completely different Nikhil than we saw yesterday, where he played against his coach, who's run into a number of times in MLTT action.
Yeah, he lost 2 out of 3 against Taowen Zhang of the Bay Area Blasters. Nandan Naresh
2-4.
won 2 out of 3 games against Jiwei Shah, the Portland Paddlers. And stylistically, how would you compare these 2 guys? Both are long and lanky and don't have a lot of meat on the bones.
Well, Nikhil likes to really mix it up, especially off the backhand side.
Whoa.
He's going for bigger and bigger forehands and backhands. He had a great World Team Championships where he took 2 matches against the top 2 English players.
Nikhil drank his coffee this morning and this afternoon and this evening.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think he had a couple Red Bulls, which I think is with the official drink of the Revolution and Koyo. But yeah, just and that was a bit of an overplay there. It just seems like every player right now pulling out all the stops to try to outswing the competition.
Oh, Naresh takes the lead.
6-5.
I'm telling you, Naresh has no difficulty taking swings.
Six all.
6-6.
Nikhil slightly stronger on the serve and serve return. Being the lefty, he's going to be able to change the spin, force the returns into his backhand side more.
Feels like both of these guys want to end the points pretty quickly.
6-7.
I was like, who has the advantage if it's beyond a 7-ball rally?
Just experience-wise, it's Nikhil, but the swings that Nandan are doing right now.
Whoa. That might catch, but it doesn't.
8-6. Wait. Eight, 6.
See, Kumar just doing a great job of keeping Nandan at bay. Nandan kept expecting the ball out to the forehand side. Nikhil saw that, just kept it on the backhand corner. Oh, that's just a great backhand punch by Nandan Naresh.
7-9.
Coming out of nowhere just to power that backhand.
Eight, 9.
Normally we would expect David Macbeth to be in this position, but because the rankings have changed, official USA table tennis, that's the swap. Nandan goes up into the top 2 position. Macbeth came down for Hagberg, and Kumar, well executed third ball attack, finding the open court to the forehand side. Perfect placement. But Nandan with the serve to try to finish out game 1.
Some massive swings from Nandan Naresh. Setting up game point.
10-9.
No hesitation from Nandan. Just using the entire court.
Game 1 to Texas.
1-0 smash.
And Naresh gives the smash a 7-6 lead. The advantage heading into the Golden game, hanging in the balance. We know how critical that is, especially now with so little time left in the regular season. Very little tentative play from either guy on that first game. Texas now 4 points clear of Portland. And, you know, regardless of what happens in these next couple of games, you know, if Texas is up 4, 5, or 6 on Portland heading into tomorrow, it'll feel pretty wide open. If Texas wins the Golden game, adds 6 points to their ledger, which would give them at worst a 10-point lead, it'll be a tough task for the Paddlers team, unless we witness the vintage Cole, who's struggled this weekend, but they need him to be at his best tomorrow to have a chance.
2-0.
And also, if Seattle is completely out of it, they might opt for moving the players around some.
Even if they're out of playoff consideration, there's still financial considerations with every game and every match, so there's still incentive. It's not like they're just playing out the string.
Right.
I hear you. We saw Matilda Ekholm play singles for the first time all
Right,
year in the
yeah.
final match for Florida when they had been eliminated.
1-3.
So right now, I've never seen Nikhil
2-3.
play this offensive-minded. So
You've never seen him this player?
no, I mean he's every single shot he's ripping it as hard as he can. Normally he plays a little bit more cat and mouse, bring the opponent in, mix it up, change the spin. He's having fun. Jiwei did the same thing when he played in his final game with Cao Wen-jung, where every time the ball came to his backhand, he just ripped it.
Do you think Nikhil is thinking he needs to play this way against Nandan because Nandan's going to go for broke and he doesn't want to get in the long rallies with him?
I think he's just having some fun right now. I mean, watch his facial expression, his body language. It looks like he's enjoying not feeling the pressure of having to play a perfect return to stop Nandan from beating him to the punch. He's even mentioning to himself, wait a minute, let's play some backhands. Don't just like put it on the table. Let's put something behind it. His backhand has improved, and it worked really well the most recent World Team Championships.
4-5.
By the way, Seattle needs at least
5,
one of these
5.
next 2 games to officially mathematically stay alive. Otherwise, their championship weekend dreams will officially
6,
be
5.
extinguished. They are very unlikely dreams right now. It would require something like a 20-1 win tomorrow, and they would also need the Bay Area Blasters to smash Texas 20-1 or something.
Or not
like
make
that.
the bus, or fail to show up and get defaulted.
7-5, 5-7.
It hasn't happened all season, but you never know. More likely, I don't make the bus for the early start time tomorrow.
As long as there's no geese along the way, we should have full
5-8.
participation by both teams. Those killer geese here in Wichita.
They are known to be aggressive.
Especially after North Carolinians. Nice serve.
9-5.
I think you did one of those earlier today.
Well, I can identify with this, except there's a reason I'm here with the headset.
Ball did not make it table. And a second one.
This game has gotten away from
10-5.
Naresh. So, once again for Seattle, it's going to be 7-all heading into the final game, just like last night.
Look at that drop shot after the loop.
Spinners.
Kamar wins game 2,
So
11-5.
tied up at 7
So it's
points.
interesting. There's technically just 1 point up for grabs, and there's going to be just a 1-point lead heading into the Golden Game. But with all we've seen and all we know, this next game to 11 could be a 7-pointer. With the Golden Game hanging in the balance soon thereafter.
And one other element we haven't spoken about is that every one of these matches is submitted to USA Table Tennis for official ratings.
Right.
And that will change seedings in upcoming US Nationals, team trials, state championships, regional championships. And as I've watched these 2 players meet in MLTT, there could also be the mindset of not the changing of the guard necessarily, but Nandan would like to notch a victory over the U.S. men's champion. And
no doubt,
nothing feels better than taking down the top dog in your country. And Nandan has been so close. But right now, both teams fighting for that 1 point lead in the Golden Game. And the ability to have their coaches choose the order and matchups to their advantage. And Nikhil, perfect backhand. That's the direction where he wants to play most of his shots, out to the forehand. And a quick 2-point off the serve. Now you can put pressure on Nandan's serve and be aggressive.
Net.
Serve.
0-2.
That was so smooth. Great read on the serve.
0-3.
Took his time, played it to the perfect location. Not sure if Nandan realized his serve went that long. You hear Nikhil saying focus.
3-1.
Not a very good set of shot selections there. Off the table, getting jammed in the backhand.
We've officially reached a point, Sean, where if Seattle can win the Golden Game, we're going to enter the final day of the regular season with every team in the West Division still technically alive.
Almost hit the Megatron? What is
Jumbotron.
Megatron.
The Wichita State Shockers Jumbotron here at Charles Koch Arena, home of Wichita State men's and women's basketball and volleyball. Aided by Major League Table Tennis this weekend.
3-4.
Think about that. Let's say Nikhil able to close this out. I would get the spinners to 182 overall. If they could get the Golden Game to be 188, that means there'd be an 18-point gap between second and fourth place. Texas would only be 4 points up on Portland.
4-4, timeout.
And we get a timeout from Seattle.
Smart timeout, very smart. Nikhil, after starting very strong.
Right, take your time, Mother.
Use my head with the hook, just focus and play.
Good. Don't rush.
Just took a minute.
Take your time, because you are going too soon now, and then the ball goes straight to the net. Okay? Yeah.
Oh. What about Major League Table Tennis? And looked at it and said, you know what, this is a pretty sweet
No,
gig.
that's okay.
I think
That's
I'm
okay,
going
go
to
ahead.
come to the United States. She's been wonderful
Just
ever
cross?
since.
Okay, okay.
Is Claudine here? Hi, Claudine.
Yeah.
Okay,
How you feeling?
Okay, okay.
Awesome.
You know exactly what to do, right? So just don't rush and take your time and focus.
Come on. Amazing. Come on. Let's talk massage later. Okay. 4 points apiece, 7 games apiece. After this point, they will switch sides to keep
really
things balanced. In the final
dodged
game
a
before
bullet in the last
the Golden Game.
couple points. Nikhil could have just stayed focused, as they were talking back during the break. Might have been up 5-2, 5-3. Great plays by both players.
MLTT.com/tickets.
5-4.
Championship weekend from Loyola University of Chicago. April 27th and 28th. It's 3 weeks from tonight.
5-5.
5-all here in game 3. We know the importance for both teams.
Wow, what defense from Nikhil Kumar. Just kept the ball in
5-6.
play. Let Nandan overswing.
It's a change in his mentality from earlier in the match. Big roar from Nikhil Kumar.
7-5.
It's interesting to see this type of reaction because off the table, you see these two guys hanging out a lot. They're teammates from Team USA, they're friends, but also fierce competitors.
7-6.
Big serve.
6-8.
Challenging Nandan. Deep topspin serve. Nandan looked ready for it, just the timing is not easy. Nikhil
6-8.
really mixes the amount of spin well on his serve. More importantly, the placement. Always trying to set up his game. And look at that, finding the open court out to the forehand
6-9.
side. Not an easy angle to create, but you could just see Nandan flailing at the ball.
Net.
That was going to be the
6-9.
exact same thing. Serves that are going long. Nikhil really spots up and decides where he's going with it.
Seattle was down 6-3 after the doubles.
And
But
again,
now just 1 point away from taking a lead into the golden game.
Evan, you could just see that controlled backhand opening by Nikhil, and then Nandan going for too much.
That's it. Nikhil Kumar able to come from behind and take 2 out of 3 over Nandan Naresh, and that gives the Seattle Spinners an 8-7 lead going into the golden game. The Spinners still need to win the golden game to stay mathematically alive, and Seattle has Portland pulling for them, trying to keep Texas very much in the middle of the pack as opposed to creating a little bit too much separation in the standings. It's been kind of a roller coaster of a Saturday night, Sean O'Neill. We had Hiromitsu Kasahara getting beaten 2 out of 3 by Olajide Omatayo. And then Dave Macbeth took the first 2 games. Hagberg with an important point. We can't overlook that 11-7 score in game 3 for Jay. In the doubles, 3 really tight games, but both golden points going the way of Wang and Kasahara. And then another very competitive match between the 2 teenagers. Sao a little bit better in every game. And that set up Kumar versus Naresh. Nandan got the win in game 1, but it was Nikhil Kumar with the last laugh, taking games 2 and 3 by the combined score of 22-11. Time to find out what the order of the golden game is going to be. Here is Mimi Bosica.
Thanks, Bitsy. You as well. Now it's time for Mimi Bosica for the draw.
Okay, thank you, Adam. So we have Seattle leading 8-7, which means Texas will choose their first player, and they will start with, Seattle starts with a 1-0 lead. You will choose the first player, coach, and you'll get the serve. Nishant Lebaka will play first. Who will play first for you?
Andrew.
Andrew Sao will go first for Seattle. Second?
Johan Hagberg.
Johan Hagberg will go second for Seattle. Nanda Naresh for Texas. And who will go third, coach? Dave Macbeth will go third. What about you, Seattle?
Nikhil Kumar.
Nikhil Kumar will go third and fourth.
Olajide.
Olajide will go fourth. Hiromitsu Kasahara will go fourth for Texas, which means Amy Wang will go fifth, and Fabiola Diaz.
Yep.
Okay, good luck, coaches.
Good luck.
Awesome.
What do you think of what we've got, Sean?
Excitement.
Yes, indeed. Whose order do you like better?
I just like the energy of Seattle right now. I just think that the experience of Andrew in that first match, I think the second match with Nandan and Hagberg could go either way. Nikhil Macbeth, I'm going to go with Nikhil as a slight advantage. Then we've got a repeat of the first match, which Omatayo took. And then we have the ladies.
Are you surprised that Texas started with Nishant Labaka?
A little bit. But his style in Golden Games is very effective. That smash, it puts maximum pressure on the opponent when you're only playing 4 points.
Two straight for Labaka, and Texas leads by 1.
Right now, 1 serving 2.
1-2.
And I have a feeling, Evan, that this is the reason why Coach Jorg continues to go with Labaka. Because in the Golden Game, this tips out style is not easy to deal with.
In his first time up, he definitely proved it. Texas
what you're trying to say is you can settle into it, playing against that style over the course of a game to 11, but
you're going to play almost 20 points, but with 4.
Or just 3. Labaka won 3 straight.
Heavy spin,
and Hagberg gets Seattle on the board in the Golden Game beyond the point they earned coming into it. Tough break for Naresh. Huge point for Hagberg in Seattle.
Going for, we saw it in the singles, going for the heavy chop serve returns. He's catching the net quite often. And look at that. Nandan continuing to have issues, and Seattle back on top. Negating the hard work of Labaka.
It's a golden sweep for Jay Hagberg. Seattle needed 2 down to 2 up.
This is going to be a great matchup here. Macbeth with the heavy spin. Kumar with the left-handed. Strong backhand play by Macbeth. Nikhil needs to keep it short or play something offensive to a good location.
2 straight for Macbeth. We are tied 5-all.
Nikhil Kumar to serve at 5-all.
What defense by Macbeth. Able to stop 3 forehand loops and then to counterattack. Excellent play.
You said this whole match has been a roller coaster. How about this Golden Game? A sweep for Labaka in Texas, a sweep for Hagberg in Seattle, and now another sweep for Macbeth in Texas.
Macbeth so smart, getting that heavy spin but keeping it low. And now the 2 biggest hitters from both these teams.
Both played in the first singles spot. Omatayo took 2 out of 3. Kasahara got the better with his doubles partner, Amy Wang, against Olajide.
Oh, smart controlled opening
7-6
by Omatayo. Didn't go for broke, but just kept the ball nice and low. And again,
tried to go short with it. He misplayed it. We're tied again, 7-all. Omatayo wins both points on Hiromitsu's serve.
Keeping the ball on the table works.
Missing the table does not. Oh, that's more than just keeping it on the table, Sean O'Neill. That is sizzling.
Inside out forehand loop from the backhand side. Nobody at home.
Will we have another sweep?
Potential sweep. No, net and out.
Kasahara salvages 1 point. It's 8-8.
Just before,
we are dead even.
Coming into the
6
arena
massive
now.
points on the line.
This
could very well decide whether it's Texas or Portland that makes the playoffs. We'll know more tomorrow, of course.
And these 2 ladies have played before in the Golden Game, and I believe it was a Golden Point
Whipped by Amy, serves it into the middle and follows up with the backhand for the win.
9-8.
And Fabiola Diaz with a very strong low serve return.
9 points apiece.
Amy Wang going for it.
You're right, Sean. Back on November 17th, Diaz over Wang in an ultimate
Net.
golden point. One
9,
of the
9.
6 we've had all season. Will we see the 7th tonight? Oh, Amy Wang rips a winner. By the way, if we do get to the ultimate golden point, it will not be Wang and Diaz. It will be Sao and Labaka. Long way to go.
Wow.
Tied 10-10 though.
Diaz splitting.
10.
Major victory for the spinners.
So Labaka won 3 straight against Sao earlier in the golden game. This is in the aftermath of Sao winning 3 straight games over Nishant in that 3rd singles spot during the match.
The question is, will Labaka be aggressive with the serves?
I'd say he's aggressive with a 3rd ball attack.
Perfectly executed, got the high ball, solid footwork, found the open court.
Bitzigayo looking on from Germany. That's 5 straight points for Labaka here in the golden game.
2-point lead for
Timeout, Seattle.
Timeout.
Andrew is just
Again,
waiting for
forget about the push to the
Labaka to
forehand. He's
miss
stepping up,
versus
around
taking
the corner in the
pressure.
backhand. And he gets every single goal that way. Okay? You pushed him to the forehand before and he was missing more. Wide open on the forehand. Wide open. Just don't stress, go back, focus on the next point. Set up your serve, serve to the backhand.
He's won
Okay?
every point to come back and make a statement. He's 5 for 5.
Come on, fight.
Focus on the next.
The best way to respond to a hater is to
2 serves for Sal. He and his team trail by 2 in this game to 21. 6 massive MLTT points up for grabs.
If I'm Labaka, I open up off the serve.
I went for it, but Sal came with some pop as well.
11,
Andrews on the board here in the golden game.
11 serving 12 right out of the timeout.
1 more point for these 2. And Sal earns the equalizer, 12 all. Those 2 are done for the night unless we get to 20 all.
Which would not surprise me, the way these 2 teams are battling back and forth. I don't think we'll see as many sweeps right now. And
Hogberg swept Don last time, but Resch gets the 1-point lead here.
Hogberg going for the chop on every serve regardless. There's another chop, and that's just
Oh
way
my
too
goodness,
high.
you gotta be kidding.
But he gets the net.
13.
I mean, what type of tactics are those? Chop high.
Diabolical.
Let the opponent rip it and then go for a net return.
13 points apiece.
13 all. Naresh wins it back.
After a fancy serve was touched back. 14 serving 13.
They get the score wrong on the flip card.
Stop.
Score.
Stop.
13 serving 14.
13, 14.
Naresh finds the corner and puts the smash up by 2 again.
Texas smash. Nandan Naresh with the last point sends in Dave McBeth.
Naresh, after dropping 4 straight points earlier, wins 3 out of 4 this time.
15, 13.
Sets up Macbeth against Kumar with a 2-point lead. Now Macbeth swept Nikhil earlier. And he's got another
16,
point for the smash here in the golden game. Frustration building for Nikhil.
16 serving 13.
He knows the value of each one of these serves.
Dave Macbeth has come to play.
Replants 13, serving 17. The
Important point for Nikhil Kumar.
14, 17. The pressure on the backhand side.
14, serving 17.
One more point before Omatayo and
Back edge of the
Kasahara
table,
take it.
Dave
That catch it
Ball
did.
caught the back edge.
By
the
the
hair
man,
on
that
his
couldn't have been more than a millimeter of the back edge.
Lead, Texas smash.
Slow this
18,
one down.
14.
Yeah, definitely caught.
And Jide Olajide Omotayo on the
4-point
receive.
lead.
18,
Seattle
serving
needs a
14.
sweep.
They're not going to get it. Best they can hope now is 19-17 for the ladies. Kasahara could close it out here.
Wow. Another loop off the end of the
15,
table.
19.
Kasahara have trouble with the higher balls.
He's got the serves here at 15-19.
Omotayo hold his serve.
Texas just 2 points away. And a service error from Omatayo.
Sets
I
up
cannot
5.
believe it.
Golden game and team match points. 15,
How
serving
cruel.
20.
An unusual punishment.
Game point for the smash. And it's over. And the Smash take a gigantic step toward the playoffs by coming from behind to win the Golden Game and officially eliminate Seattle from postseason contention. 21-15 behind the performances of Macbeth, Labaka, Kasahara, and Naresh. Amy Wang wasn't bad either.
After a big victory, the barriers fly, and the spectators got their money's worth here today. What a finish in an incredibly nail-biting battle. And Texas smash again, way out.
Texas
in front
goes
of Portland
4-2
Paddlers
against Seattle
by
during the
10,
season.
which means there will be
And the
one
Smash
more day
will take a
and
10-point
lot to play
lead
for
over the
tomorrow.
Paddlers
11 a.m.
into the
first
final
match begins
Sunday
tomorrow, 2
of the
p.m.
regular season.
The final match here in Wichita for MLTT. Show up
Texas
before
goes
10:30
into tomorrow knowing that if they can earn 11 points out of the 21 against the Blasters, they will be going to championship weekend. So we're joined by Dave Macbeth. Dave, what a wild roller coaster of a match that was. You guys had the lead. They had the lead. It was back and forth. We saw the kind of the same thing in the Golden Game. What was the difference? What were you saying to your teammates on the bench late in the Golden Game to pull it out?
Yeah, I think especially after we were obviously in the lead, Nishant was obviously disappointed, Nandan was disappointed, and it was just about resetting before the Golden Game and making sure, well, we're still in it. Obviously, it was only the 1 point difference, so it was basically a love all game. So,
what changed for you in the Golden Game? I mean, it seems like you came out.
It was better than the singles. It was better than anything this whole weekend, probably. So,
what was the difference for you? Why do you feel more comfortable in the Golden Game?
Had a bit more match practice. I'm not sure. No, I was obviously motivated against Nikhil. I lost, I think, last time I played him. And I played him in the Golden Game first weekend, and I went 1-4, I think. So, yeah, I was trying to get some revenge on him.
So you're going to be calling home and letting him know, or are they watching live?
Well, I don't know what to tell him. It must be way gone now.
Hopefully they're asleep,
yeah,
Shadow.
Well, with
so.
it, with
they
a
don't
young
want to be
daughter,
listening to me, that's for sure.
Young daughter, I would guess that she might be up.
Yeah.
Watching Dad play, so
my voice will put him to sleep, no problem. So,
well, that's a good thing with a newborn at home. Tomorrow you got a quick turnaround. You'll be back on the table, about 13, 14 hours from now.
Yeah.
And with the win tonight, you got a 10-point lead for the final playoff spot. If you get 11 points against the Bay Area Blasters tomorrow, you'll punch your ticket to the championship event. What's foremost on your mind heading into the final day of the season?
Well, we just want to qualify, if that's by getting the margin or if it's just by getting enough points, and Portland don't equal that. But yeah, we're going to go out to win the match tomorrow, and hopefully we can qualify for the finals.
Now, if you beat the Blasters 20-1, you could catch them in the standings.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll take it one point at a time, maybe. But
I'm going to stop throwing scenarios at you. Let you enjoy this.
We want to qualify. That's it.
Congratulations,
Cheers.
Dave. Well done. Cheers.
Thank
We'll
you.
see you tomorrow.
Nice one.
Well, it was an exciting night, certainly a consequential night for the West Division race, and that's how we land with Texas. Remember at the start of the weekend, Texas was behind Portland, but their 16-5 win overcame the 11-point deficit, and they outscore them by 10 more today. The Paddlers got rocked, so Portland certainly up against it, and Texas goes into tomorrow knowing that with 11 points, they guarantee it. If they can get 6 or 7, though, it's going to be really tough for Portland the way things are going.
Yeah, Portland has their work cut out for them. Really, losing that first match set the stage for them, but credit David McBeth and his teammates for getting the job done, playing big when they needed to, and just dominating and playing great in this Golden Game.
Golden Game always delivers, doesn't it? It is an incredible experience to witness, to enjoy. It's tough to compete in, tough to lose, but Texas comes from behind, becoming just the 4th team in 34 Golden Games this year since the calendar flipped to 2024 to pull it out. So that'll wrap up our Saturday evening coverage here from Wichita. We thank you for joining us wherever you are around the globe. For my partner, Sean O'Neill, Evan Lepler saying good night. Texas victorious in the Golden Game 21-15. They win the match 13-8. We'll see you tomorrow for the final Sunday here in Wichita. Good night, everybody.